Now available in paperback and e-readers. Isis, Bride of Dracula. The Goddess Next Door and John Haynes team up to take on the Dark Vampire in this action-packed Isis series adventure. Get Isis, Bride of Dracula in paperback and e-readers at online booksellers today. There's a group of African American women raising funds to create an non-profit organization, Sisters Overcoming Stereotypes. And they say that they have to create this non-profit because black men are creating images and media of black women on YouTube that are degrading to black women. And this whole argument about these YouTube presenting negative images of black women and negative ideas about black women, this concept is completely ridiculous because all these black men are doing is expressing their opinions regarding black women and are being critical of black women that in a way that reflects their opinions and their experiences regarding black women. And when you look at how many views many of these videos get, in most cases they only get maybe 500 or 600 views, or at the most 10 or 15,000 views. Now, when we compare the number of views on YouTube to a piece of media like Girls Trip, which made $30 million at the box office in its opening weekend, we can clearly see that this whole campaign is completely illogical. How is a YouTube video that is only viewed by maybe 500 people at the least and maybe 20,000 at the most degrading to the image of black women, yet a film which features numerous stereotypes regarding black women has made $30 million at the box office, and no one wants to talk about these stereotypes which are clearly presented in a Hollywood film. When you compare the two, you see how illogical these black females are and how this is all about censoring black men and keeping them from having a stage where they can talk about the issues and express their opinions freely. These fascists, all they want to do is try to find a way to censor any black man who presents an opinion that they don't like and disagree with. Meanwhile, they don't want to deal with clearly media that degrades the image of the African American woman, which has been produced by Hollywood, such as this Girls Trip movie, a movie which breathes new life into old stereotypes regarding black women, a movie that degrades the image of black women, and a movie that features black women presenting themselves in the same degrading way that black women have presented themselves on YouTube in videos like twerk videos, those fight videos in fast food restaurants, and numerous videos where black females are participating in some of the most embarrassing and dysfunctional behavior. No, the black women have no problem with those videos because they don't want to talk about that at all. No, they don't want to talk about that because in their minds, it's only black men's videos that are critical of black women that are considered offensive. And when you do that, when you say that that's offensive, you really are just trying to censor people. And under the United States Constitution, people have a right to freedom of speech and freedom of expression. And if somebody is presenting content on a YouTube channel you do not like, you have the option to click out of it, because the mission of YouTube originally was called to broadcast yourself. And what these females want to do is prevent black men from broadcasting themselves, presenting their opinions about people, and presenting their view of life and their experiences about life. And that prevents us from getting a richer and broader picture of black people on social media and getting a complete story. Because what some of these black females want to do is censor the black man and have us still continuing to follow the narrative that people used to follow back in the 1980s and 1990s, when feminists like Oprah Winfrey controlled the television media and were given power by white liberals to control the narrative regarding black people and the black image. They want to continue promoting the narrative of the black female as a victim of a quote-unquote no good black man, when in actuality, when we hear from black men, we get a clearer picture of the story regarding the black experience. And listening to those black men gives us all a better understanding of the issues related to black men. Now, there's this GoFundMe up there talking about sisters overcoming stereotypes and how they want to establish that nonprofit, and I have no problem with overcoming actual stereotypes. The mission of this organization, however, is all about censoring black men on YouTube, and that's not what a nonprofit is supposed to be. As a man who has worked in a nonprofit's mission is supposed to be able to enrich the community and help the community be a better place. And what makes the black community a better place is hearing from those black men in the community, hearing their opinions, hearing them express their concerns and their issues. And this is what leads to the black community becoming a better community, a broader community, and people coming to understand the issues overall in the black community. Over the last 50 years, we have only gotten a picture of the black community that was created by black feminists, white feminists, and white liberals, and we have not heard from black men. And what these fascists want to do is they want to censor black men because they are telling a story that refutes a lot of the narrative that the white liberals, the white feminists, and the black feminists want to present about the black community. And they want to continue telling the story of victimization, whereas black men want to tell the story about how they have been silenced and censored, and they are using the internet to express their opinions. And this is why black people have to go out of their way to try to support black media created by black men, such as YouTube videos, by doing things like donating to Patreons or making PayPal donations, or doing things like buying positive black fiction by writers like myself, because that material is allowing you to have an open forum, and it's also allowing you to see a counterpoint to the mainstream media and the mainstream ideas. And when you support that media, it allows creators like myself and other YouTubers to continue making more videos and creating more content. And it also allows us to have the platform open and continue having a more open dialogue about things. And it allows us to see different counterpoints and not just one singular narrative, because that's what this group is trying to do. They're trying to make it where black media goes right back to being back under the white liberals, the white feminists, and the black feminists who have controlled it for almost 50 years, and they don't want to see dissenting from that opinion. And anyone who sits there and goes along with this, really, they are going along with a fascist regime, because under our United States Constitution, all American citizens, regardless of race, are guaranteed the right under the First Amendment to free speech, freedom of expression, and freedom of the press. And as a black YouTuber, black men are supposed to have these constitutional rights as well. If a black man can't come to an open forum like a YouTube to broadcast himself, then that platform is clearly not following the United States Constitution. And anyone who is trying to silence people, they are showing that they are an enemy of the United States, an enemy of this state, and they are clearly a group of fascists looking to censor people, and they're not looking to protect the image of black people or black women overall. When you give a pass to a minstrel show like Girls Trip and then talk about how it's only YouTube videos that are destroying the black female image, that is a faulty argument, because when it comes down to the black female image, I see a movie that was seen by millions of people like Girls Trip is more damaging than a YouTube video that only got maybe 20,000 views at most, or 500 views at least. So how is that degrading the black female image or destroying the black female image when we have a movie that was seen by millions of people, and mostly black women went out to spend $30 million on. No one wants to talk about protesting that movie. In fact, that movie, when it came out, not a single black female talked about how it was degrading. It was mostly black men talking about how that film was degrading to black women, because over the course of history, it has always been black men who have gone out of their way to try to protect the image of the black woman and protect black females from being degraded, because black men, when they make these videos that are critical of black women, show how much they care about black women and how much they love them by showing their critique of them. Because a man who cares about you is going to say something to you to help you, and the man who remains silent, that's the man who does not love you or respect you. Because a man who will go out of his way to call out a minstrel show like Girls Trip, which presents the most degrading images of black women and stereotypes, that's a man who cares about you. A man who remains silent, that's a man who does not care about black women. That is not a man who wants to help sisters overcome stereotypes. That is a man who supports stereotypes and says that it's okay to degrade the black woman, because he has little love for that black woman, because he doesn't love himself and he does not love his community. If you'd like to help me make more videos, you can donate to my Patreon by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to see some positive images of African American women, you can pick up some of my African American fiction, like the Thetas, Spinsterella, and the ISIS series, on Amazon.com by clicking the link in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.